Namaskar. Hello and welcome to 𝗣𝗬𝘗𝘁 channel. I'm your host, Sree Iyer. After a long hiatus, we have with us Elmer Yuen again, and he has an incredibly good way to connect dots. And he sees things that I and you will not see, viewers. And here is something that you're going to listen to. This is a very fascinating explanation of how things are evolving in the world today. And to know all about this, let's welcome Elmer Yuen. Elmer, namaskar and welcome to 𝗣𝗬𝘗𝘁 channel.
Hello, I miss you. I'm sorry I'm not properly dressed. And Sree did not give me long enough notice. But I'm really willing because I have now really available for almost an hour to talk to you, to update you what happened. I have been very... first of all, let me give you my background. I spent 10 years in Beijing, mingling with the, all these so-called powerful people or families, and then 10 years in Shanghai, mingling with the Shanghai gangs. And I've also spent 20 years in the United States, 10 years in Japan. I kind of understand, these are important countries, big players. So I understand how this thing interacts. So that's why this is my background. And right now, I spend almost like 18 hours a day, even sometimes 20 hours, going through YouTube and reading all kind of material and keep myself up to date. And I have many friends still in the States, in China, in many places. And Sree is another my friend for India. So I have many information sources, let's put it that way. So I'm not trying to sell myself, so I don't get paid. So, but I want you to know when I talk, what kind of background I came from and what kind of preparation I've done. I'm not trying to sell myself, but some of the things I talk is quite important, not only to you, but to everybody. And I have my own point of view. And I think so far I've been quite... everybody's guessing, right? But since I'm a venture capitalist, I know how I learn how to guess. I'm not always right, but when you guess more and more and more, you become more accurate. I mean, it's a speculation. It's an exercise, and there's nothing wrong with speculation. Without speculation, what does the detective do? Well, he has to go from clues and try to find out what's happening, not based on final evidence. I mean, by then it's too late. The criminal is gone. So we need to see the signs and, like Sree said, connect the dot. But most important thing, we really need to anticipate what's happening, not just to report what's happening.
So, Elmer, I want to take you back to that meeting that Xi Jinping had with Joe Biden. And just when they were being taken out, waiting for their cars, Biden shows the Chevrolet, I think it's a limousine, and he says, we call this the beast, because that is the spitting image of the car that Xi Jinping had also brought from China. He was giving 2 or 3 things there, that you guys copied our design and so on and so forth. Let's just set that aside for a moment. Many people said that Xi Jinping asked for $800 billion as a loan or a grant or whatever from the United States. And I think the United States said no, and then October 7th came along after that. Now you connect the dots from that meeting forward till today.
In fact, before Xi Jinping came to San Francisco, the Wang Yi, the foreign minister, already told the American side, let's be nice. Please be nice. Let's not have a fight. At that very point of time, China, even now, of course, China was bankrupted. Let's put it very simply. It's bankrupted. So they believe there was going to be a rebound of economy after COVID, because they say, oh, COVID is finished, we're going to bounce. And they make all the Wall Street people saying that America will have a big crash and the Chinese stock will go up, revengefully go up, rebound. It didn't happen. So it was a huge problem for China. China thought once the COVID is over, it's over. what really happened is during the zero lockdown, China is not like United States, or I don't know about India, but United States actually pay people money to stay home. So everybody's company-wise, personal-wise, all their cash flow, personal cash flow is intact. While China, during the COVID, last probably a year and a half to 2 years, they have to go out from their own money. So, and the Chinese people, Chinese business, it used to be state-owned. So how does Chinese thrive? They based on borrowing. They don't have use their own capital. They don't have no capital. People, and so they always borrow to do business. When the business is going on well, everything's fine, right? Because it's making money to pay for the interest and to repay the loan. When you have a shutdown of almost 2 years, zero activity, you're not allowed to do anything, you are running out of your cash flow. So your working capital, you lose all your, and people lose all their saving. Maybe normally working people have, let's say, 6 months to a year of working capital in their bank, right? So-called saving, current account. But that is people have already tapped out. So what happened is when they abandoned the zero tolerance and opened up China, they expect a rebound, and Wall Street told them there's a rebound. It never happened. It collapsed. So the whole country, suddenly all the supply chain, all the money chain, all the chains are broken. So suddenly, if you look at, I'm sure you see a lot of videos coming out of China these days, everything's shut down. They are not capable. It's like a car stored for so long, for 2 years, you cannot restart it. There's no gasoline or no power to restart it. This is what happened when Xi Jinping came to San Francisco. And the rumor was he asked Biden for $900 million. 9,000 million.
No, 900, 800 billion.
Yeah, billion, sorry, 800, almost $1 trillion. Almost a trillion. Almost a trillion. Let's put that round number, easier to remember. So what happened is China still hold about maybe $1 trillion worth of treasuries, U.S. treasuries.
Yes.
So what he thinks is, his mentality, you remember Jack Ma said, China have no banking system. It's a pawn shop. You understand that.
Right.
We are Asian. We understand how the banking works. All right. So he thinks that I'm holding your treasury, right? You can use the treasury as a security and lend me some money so I can kick back the economy. Because he created a white list. We understand what a black list. He created a white list of property companies that he was trying to help, to try to get them to recover them. Otherwise, they're all going down. And the consequence is so serious. So he tried to borrow this money. It's not really borrowing. He thinks he has security with the US. He tried to get this cash flow to China to save the property developers. He has a white list, all right, about which ones. Country Garden, for instance. So, but he didn't understand. This guy, unfortunately, I've said so many times, he is grade school mentality and grade school education. So he thinks, I have money with you, so lend me some cash flow. So that's what he thinks, but it doesn't work in the States. It does not work in the United States. Things don't work that way in the United States. So, of course, Biden cannot agree, and Yellen cannot agree. So it was a failure. But on the other hand, the background behind this is China is in very serious trouble. And since then, since the San Francisco meeting, APEC meeting, it's getting more and more serious because no help is in sight. In the meantime, they are spending money like crazy to help the Russian and then to help the Iranian with the Hamas and the Hezbollah, and then the Houthi, and so on. Almost all the terrorists, the source of fund, and also helping the North Korean. It's all the source of fund came from China. And you cannot They are not doing well in export. They appear to be doing quite well with electric vehicle, but people are shutting them down. It's not that many. You can calculate. They are exporting, let's say, 5 million cars, and each car export price maybe 15,000. You can multiply. It's not that much money, but they are spending money in the South China Sea, in the Taiwan, in Eastern Ocean, against Japan and Korea. Just everywhere is spending money. And also there's a whole African, all their brotherhoods in Africa they have to support, including Venezuela in South America. I mean, there's no end to it. But the income, all the export, they are really hurting in export because of when they were shut down, they were not able to deliver, all right, goods when they were shut down, even all the Shanghai ports, everything. So what happened is customers in the United States said, well, you don't deliver, I'm not going to order from you anymore. All right, I won't order from you anymore. So as a result, they lost all their Christmas orders to India, to Vietnam, and the other countries. So all the factories are shut down. So in China, they have no orders. They have no export orders. And Chinese consumption is very small, especially after the COVID. Nobody has money. It's not talking about no domestic consumption. It's no money. I mean, you understand. We Asian people understand how it feels without money. The less you have, the more you want to hold on to it just in case. Right? This is our mentality. So this is the result now. China is bankrupt. All right. The Xi Jinping and the CCP are under tremendous pressure. Let me name a few to you. Of course, international, you guys all know. I don't have to say anything. They are draining, and then they have no friends anymore. Only people who like them to pay. All right. And they're not doing well at all. I mean, you can see that even India does not respect them a little bit. I mean, if you have no money, it's like people, right? If people used to talk very big, and suddenly without money, you can lose all respect. This is very typical. So internationally, militarily, they suddenly understand their so-called they call the rocket ministry. It's a kind of army. You have
rocket force. Yeah.
Rocket force. Yeah. Rocket force. You found out all of them are corrupted and leaking information to the United States. It's very, including foreign minister was also involved. So they leak to United States, so they understand that this way. And United States has published the whole book, telling every single detail about that rocket force, including who is in charge of canteen. That's as detailed as that. So finally, Putin came to Putin sent his vice defense minister to see Xi Jinping and tell Xi Jinping where the leak is. And then Xi Jinping started the cleanup. The entire rocket force is finished. There's no more generals. Everybody's finished. Now they send the Navy, the head of Navy, to be the head of rocket force. It would take 5 years to 10 years to reorganize that. So there's no imminent danger, but you never know. You never know. They are not a normal country. A normal country, you have that kind of a problem. You will really need to reorganize, restructure everything. But you never know the communists. All right, they take risk. They take huge risk, while normal countries don't take risk. So right now, this is what they're against. Inside the party, there's a letter generated by the son of former president of China, Liu Shaoqi. And he got all the princelings to write a letter saying that they don't like what Xi Jinping is doing, and they want to do away. They want to do away with the Communist Party and replace it with a social democrat party with election and so on and so forth. But that you don't believe. They basically born princelings. All right, they don't believe in democracy. So, but anyway, that's the content of the letter, meaning that inside the party, there is huge uproar, all right, against Xi Jinping. This is okay. I don't believe they can overthrow Xi Jinping. But there's another one which we people like us are never involved. China, as you know, China is between rural and urban.
Right.
Rural are the farmers. I would say there are 40% farmers right now in China. They came to work. The female came to work in the factory, from the farm to the city to do work in the factories. All right, and they were the workforce. And the male came also to work for the building, for the construction, for the road, the highway, the high-speed train, all the Chinese construction, including going out, all came from the farmers. The farmers say, because you don't make much money growing things, but so they come and work as labor for the Chinese infrastructure and the construction, the buildings. Now, suddenly, I dare say half of all that construction work is gone. So they are being sent home early, even in November, all right? Sent home from November, saying that, oh, it's the Chinese New Year holiday, you better go home early, and we'll let you know when to come back, when we have work. Half has gone home, including female and male. And we are talking about huge numbers. We are talking a total almost about 200 million people. And a lot of them came home without much money because, as I said, the cash flow, personal cash flow, the saving is all gone. So they go home. They support the home. And these are family, important member of family. They support the elderly and the children. And throughout the Chinese history, all the overthrowing of dynasties and so on are because they have nothing to eat. When the peasants are hungry, you don't talk about ideology and all that nonsense. It's about the stomach, all right? And they have the family. Family is the pressure. How do you face when your children have nothing to eat? Then you have to rise up and fight. I don't know about India, but this is the way Chinese dynasty change. All right, we have many dynasty change. It's where you look at your family, your wife and your children. There's no food on the table. That's how revolution starts. This is the year. It's happening right now, and it's still winter right now in China. Very cold this year. No food and no heat. And it's a very serious. It's happening now. Of course, there's suppression of the information. This is one important force against Xi Jinping and CCP. All right, there's so many, but the way I look at it, the most important force that may overthrow the CCP and Xi Jinping are the peasants, out of work peasants, and I don't believe it's the fresh educated university, because the kids have no power. All right, they may make a lot of noise, and Xi Jinping can always force them to study one more year, and the school can control. It's a system they can control. But the farmers are all over China, different part of China, and when they rise up, they are not going to overthrow the government. They're going to rob all the stores, rob all the banks. Wherever they can get their hand on, they will rob just to survive, all right? And first, they create this huge disorder all over the country. You don't know where it can come from, anywhere, from the rural areas. And then this may develop into a political turmoil. This is what I expect. And it can happen this year. You don't need to wait for long, because people are already at the end. They have no more money. There's no money to spend. You can see almost more than half of the restaurants are closed.
That's very sad to know. But anyway, this is the reality. This is where Xi Jinping has taken the country. Elmer, my feeling is Xi Jinping needs the West so that they can give orders to him, and then that is production, so that they can revive that production economy cycle. But he has essentially ruined it by, what I call as nationalizing all the big private companies. He nationalized education, then Jack Ma got down to zero and nothing. All these things have happened. And I'm sure the West has now started taking out all their money, like BlackRock and things like that.
Oh, everything's gone. No money, all the money whenever they can. Sometimes the maturity takes time. It's evidence. There is no money going to China, either from Chinese or from foreigners or from Hong Kong people or from Taiwan. Only withdraw. There is no money. This is why Xi Jinping has to come and talk to Biden about that emergency loan. It's an emergency loan. That's what it is. It's a big loss of face. But what can he do? He thinks it's not a big deal because I also hold U.S. bonds. U.S. Treasury have another purpose because many companies still have already invested in China. They have the right to, when they leave China, they have the right to convert back to U.S. dollars. So that money was actually kept for those people when they leave China. It's like a surety. It's like a guarantee of money when they go back. So he cannot use that. He has to keep that so that he expecting more investment will keep coming. So but he can borrow against it because no foreign investor would lay the claim directly to this money under Treasury, under U.S. Treasury. So this is what's happening. It's very, very serious. We in Hong Kong feel the pressure. For instance, Russia is China is paying Russia in RMB for the oil, all right? And the Russian take the RMB and come to Hong Kong. Hong Kong and convert to Hong Kong dollar and then US dollars. So we know what's happening. And it's hurting Hong Kong. It's hurting Hong Kong. And Hong Kong is really, we are hurt tremendously. And we are transshipping a lot of chips, which can be used for weapons to Russia and to North Korea and to China, because they don't have those very high speed or maybe weapon grade chips. So and U.S. is investigating. Eventually, we're going to end up shutting down Hong Kong, which really hurts. That's why I'm advising all my Hong Kong audience to convert their Hong Kong dollars to US dollars and deposit outside China. And most of them, for convenience, they deposit in Singapore. So suddenly, Singapore has become the financial center of Asia.
A lot of stuff. So he can't really start a war against Taiwan to get out of this mess. Even if he occupies Taiwan, what does he get from that? There's not much money there. The fab, that might be one thing, but US is not going to just like that allow him to do that. Considering,
Sree, this is our normal people mentality. Our normal people mentality. They are gamblers. They have gambled and won the entire Chinese mainland. All right? They are gamblers. They are lighting up a lot of flames all over the world. Everything you see right now, not well in the world, is caused behind. Behind is the Chinese. Look at the Philippines. All right, very serious. They start something with Philippines. Luckily, everybody kind of regroup, and then pause again. But look at all the choke points. Philippines, North Korea, shooting archery into South Korea's, all right, and then Southeast Asia, even the Myanmar, the Chinese is involved, all right, and then the whole Middle East, almost every flame is China behind it. The Red Sea, the Gulf of Persian, and then Syria, and the Hezbollah, and then the Yemen, you name it, Hamas, you name it, everything supplied through China, through Iran, and I don't know about Pakistan, you know more, but anyway, South America, everywhere the problem is China is behind it. What they are trying to do is to distract US, have so much trouble, and then if they attack Taiwan, US may not have enough resource to take care. And what they want to end up is not to win Taiwan or anything, but to come down to a negotiation where the world say, okay, because nobody wants war, all right, in the West. They may want to say, okay, we'll give you some money, and then we'll have a joint ruling, for instance, in Ukraine and so on. They may have a overall peace, global settlement, all right, where they gain certain strategic wins, like financially. You never know. This is the way they work. They did it when they took over mainland China, they had many negotiations with Chiang Kai-shek, and they end up never have to keep their promise. But in the meantime, they were able to survive, and then to regroup and to buy time. This is the way the communists have. They have different set of mentality than we have. We want long-term prosperity and stability, but the communists are different. They just want to win, and then get over this, and then the next point. These are guerrilla warfare. They are not the regular warfare. So we don't judge them by our normal sense. Unfortunately, we cannot. They are different types. They are really gamblers. Let's put it. They are like, I would say, they are like mafias. All right, they behave like mafias. They think like mafias. All right, and mafias don't care about social stability. They just want to win.
And let's wait and see how this plays out. I think US also has got the thinking now. I mean, they are beginning to understand.
They're getting better, much better now. Right? Every country is getting much better now. They know the Chinese don't keep their promise. The CCP don't keep their promise. What they promise is just to buy time. So they know. Sometimes they just do nothing and watch them. So what Biden is doing right now is, for instance, the Philippines. The Chinese have misjudged. They don't understand the relationship between the Philippines and the Americans. They used to be one country, and they fought World War II together. They didn't understand. The Chinese thought, oh, Philippines, very small country. The people have no sense to build the country, just singing and dancing. That's what but they have no idea that the Filipino can be very, very, once you bully them, and then all the other countries come to help, they can become very strong. They are very tough people too. They have a Spanish blood. It's not a joke. So they misread. And now they have big problem. All these Spratly Island, all these, all these so-called man-made island. They are so close to the Philippines, yet so far from China. Almost 2,500 kilometers from China, yet only about 100 kilometers from the Philippines. So now all the and U.S. have all the base, reopened all the 9 bases, including Clark Air Base and Subic Bay. Suddenly, they found out it was a totally wrong investment to build all those military base on those shores. So it's a big problem. It's a misjudgment. These are a bunch of the Chinese. They just don't, and they're very arrogant. When you are not only ignorant but arrogant, this is the problem. Now you can see that everything they did. I mean, why did they piss off India? I don't understand. Piss off India would be a great help market for them, a huge market for them. It was totally stupid for them to piss off India. They even pissed off Vietnam, Indonesia, you name it. No friends. So it becomes the axis of evil. North Korea, China, Russia, Iran, Pakistan, and then all the way to Cuba,
Turkey,
to Venezuela.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And those countries are so dirt poor. And it all drains the Chinese resource.
I have a question out of left field for you, Elmer. In the last 2.5, 3 years, close to 1 million illegals are coming in to the United States. And most of them are coming from Venezuela.
10 million. Almost 10 million.
So 4 countries. One of them the big one is Venezuela. What is the Biden administration strategy for allowing so many illegals? Because it's going to get overflowed. It's going to be over, and already cities are screaming.
Yeah, but Sree, about when Kennedy, you remember President Kennedy? Yeah. He passed a law for the Irish to come to U.S. very easily, migrate to U.S. very easily. As a result, the Democrats, all right, have a huge voting support from those Irish. For generations, these Irish will always vote for the Democrats. And Biden or Obama behind him is applying the same. All these migrants, never mind where they come from, they will be forever indebted to the Democratic Party, and they will vote locally, statewide, and federal-wise for the Democratic Party. They are basically building up their vote base. 10 million, not 1 million, 10 million people have come in. All right. If you, knowing it's about 8 million, and then at least 2-3 million that you don't know them. So
Right,
these
right.
people and their family will forever vote. And when they come in there, they will, when they become residents, they will get more of their relatives to come in. They will be totally loyal to the Democratic Party. This is what they're building. That's all. They don't care about. And then because then the white people, the normal people, conservative are in minority. That's the only thing. They don't care about the country's economy.
Unfortunately, that's where things are headed, and I don't know when this is going to be reversed. What are your thoughts on Trump becoming the president again in November?
Yeah, I think there are 80% chance, and he wants to send them more back, which is not impossible. He wants, the first day he wants to come back is to make an executive order and send them all back. It's hard, but what can you do? You need to reverse that. It's illegal. It's against the Constitution. That's not the way you win your elections.
Thank you so much, Elmer, and it was a great time talking to you. And we have looked at a lot of things, viewers. So this is China now lashing out at the United States and the West for all the other things that are happening. But something is going to give. That's what my gut feeling tells me. Like Elmer said, that there is going to be something happening in China. Stay tuned. We'll be back with Elmer.
No, this year. Not
this year.
No, this year something definitely will happen. So everybody's prepared. There may be a breakup of China. It's not a speculation. All right. If it's going to break up, most probably this year. If they survive this year, they may recover slowly. You never know. These guys they're very good industrialists, so they may recover. But right now, the whole world is trying to isolate China, decouple with them. And China also, by accident, also decouple with the rest of the world. Wherever, doesn't matter. But they have no friends.
Yes. And until next time, see you all, viewers. And please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Thanks once again, Elmer. Always pleasure talking to you.
Thank you for inviting me.